Rocky with Equity Real Estate in Utah Home Sweet Home, and I get asked this question all the time. Hey, if we find a property that we submit an offer on, can we back out? Are we allowed to back out? Can we get our earnest money check? And the answer, well, first of all, it's a great question, and the answer is dictated by what the contract that you use to submit the offer says. So, granted you submitted an offer that the contract states you can back out and get your earnest money check, then the answer is yes, you can back out and get your earnest money check back. However, if the offer that you use, the contract, the paperwork, the offer that you use to submit the offer states that you cannot get your back out or get your earnest money check, then the answer is no, you cannot back out and get your earnest money check back. So it's very important to understand the contract that you are using. It's very important to understand the contract that maybe, let's say you're a seller, you're a for sale by owner, and somebody submits you an offer. You know, I'm a real estate investor as well as a real estate agent, and I have a lot of real estate investor friends, and lots of real estate investors will utilize a contract that does not give the opposing party the ability to back out. You know, they will custom make these contracts, they'll have attorneys draft these contracts so it's completely in their favor. So let's say you're a for sale by owner and you have an investor who comes over and submits an offer on a personalized contract. Before you sign that contract, you're going to want to make sure you read it, understand it, maybe even let your attorney read it and understand it, because you may have no ability to back out of that contract. So, depending on what the contract states will depend on if you can back out safely and get your earnest money check or not back out. And so, at the end of the day, my recommendation is, depending on what real estate agent you're working with, depending on what state you're in, what country you're in, depending on where you're watching this video, every state's contracts are different. So here in the state of Utah, where I'm located, you are able to successfully back out of the contract. Granted, you use the Utah State Approved Purchase Agreement. So let's be clear. I'm using the State Approved Contract of Utah. So granted, I'm using the State Approved Contract of Utah. You are able to back out safely, granted you back out during the time frame that you are allowed to do so. So there's going to be a time frame in the contract that states, as long as you don't supersede this time frame, yes, you can back out safely and get your earnest money check back. So here in the state of Utah, as long as you're using the State of Utah Purchase Agreement, yes, you can back out as long as you do it within the time frame and get your earnest money check back. Now, other states, I've never read all 50 states' purchase agreements, so I don't know the answer to the other states, so it's very important that you're going to make sure you want to sit down with your real estate agent, get a hold of the state-approved contract of your state, read through it. If you have any questions, ask your agent or attorney, and then you will have a good understanding if you are able to back out. Now, if you don't use the state-approved contract, and you use a contract that's drafted up by somebody, maybe an attorney, maybe by some investor, then even here in the state of Utah, if we're not using the Utah State-Approved contract, you may not have the ability to back out if you're using a separate type of contract. You are entitled to use, as a buyer, any contract that you want. So you can use the contract that the state of Utah has prepared, or you can prepare your own or borrow a friend's or whatever you may do. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you understand that contract, and depending on what that contract states, that's going to tell you if you can safely back out of your contract and retain and get back your earnest money. Alright, I hope this video helps. If you have any other questions, hey, put them in the comment section below. I'd be happy to answer them. Or feel free to call me. My telephone number is 801-810-4475. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please give it a thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.